Well, it was a pretty devastating loss this weekend for the Denver Broncos. Here to talk about the very close game is our Broncos Insider Mike Klis for the Klis Mike Drop. Hey, Mike.
Erica, yeah, it sure was a tough one. Seems like they've had a couple gut punches here the last couple of years. Last year, you had the blocked field goal on Will Lutz, where they crashed in. Leo Chenal crashed in, blocked an easy chip shot field goal where the Broncos would have won. That was a devastating loss. This one was equally devastating. This one I think might have been harder to take because the Broncos made so many mistakes down the stretch. They had the game in control. And all they had to do, I think they made 4 big errors in like the last 7 minutes of the game, where if they only make 3, they win the game. But they made 4, and I'm including the J.K. Dobbins emotional brain lock that he had there a couple times on the one series, the one failed series with the missed field goal. But let's go to the last play. That was the big deal. Last night on our show, on our wrap-up show at 10:30 with Scotty Gange, I said I thought it was a ticky-tack play, that the refs probably could have swallowed their flags and not called it. But that was based on the shots that we had available, and most of them centered on Uwazurike pushing down, DJ Jones pushing down, but those guys went straight up. There's a shot out there, a video shot out there now. I believe it's an all-22 shot, which means you can see the whole all 22 players on the field. It's more an expansive, comprehensive shot. And it shows that Dondrea Tillman did not only push off, the right guard or center, but the big thing, the reason why the refs could not ignore it was he jumped up and landed. He went forward and landed on the right guard. And that's why there's a rule in the first place. It's a safety rule. They were tired of these guys jumping on these defenseless blockers. Essentially, they're defenseless. And Dondrea jumped up and landed right on the right guard. That is a penalty. It's a blatant penalty. It had to be called. I know it was unfortunate. It was a 60-yarder. Today, in his media conference call, Sean Payton holds a media conference call every week, the day after a game. Today, he was on the conference call with the Denver media, and he was asked about how, last year with that block kick in Kansas City, Alex Forsyth, they deflected blame from him. And he was asked if he would do the same thing kind of with Dondrea Tillman. But more than that, Sean Payton stepped up and took full blame. He said, look, he should not have. He did call a field goal block play. And he called the play that the Broncos attempted. They didn't teach the technique. They didn't teach Tillman to jump on someone. But he did call for the field goal block. And he said in retrospect, with the 60-yard field goal, which was unreachable for the kicker, he shouldn't have called it. A 60-yarder at sea, a 60-yarder at mile high is doable. 60-yarder at sea level, the kick was well short and wide. It wasn't even close. And so he regrets putting on the field goal block. He took all blame. No blame to Darren Rizzi, the special teams coordinator. No blame to Dondrea Tillman. Sean Payton took all of it. So that was good, and that wound up costing the Broncos the game. Now, there are other reasons that contributed to that final play being what doomed the Broncos. Before that, Will Lutz had a missed 42-yard field goal. So, and he's usually nails on those. But, that was kind of a clutch kick. Broncos had a 2-point lead. And had he made it, it would have been a 5-point lead. And so that hurt. And then you've got, before that, you had the Bo Nix interception where they're already in field goal range. Obviously, that hurt. That was a 6-point swing. The Broncos didn't get the 3-point field goal at least. And also, Indianapolis drove down and got a field goal. So that hurt. J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins, in the middle of a play, he sees that the Colts may have jumped offside. He thought they did. The refs either didn't see it or he didn't cross the line and he got back in time. It was not called. and he turned around and put his hands up in the air to the ref, hey, you got to call offside while the ball is being snapped. And so the ball was snapped, and Bo Nix took a sack because J.K. Dobbins was complaining to the ref. And then, of course, he spiked the ball after the 23-yard run 2 plays later. That cost him 5 yards. So all that kind of added up. And on top of all that, the defense, you know, all the flower bouquets thrown at the defense here the last couple weeks, or last week, after they only allowed 133 against a bad Tennessee team who started a quarterback, Cam Ward, a #1 overall draft pick, talented as he may be. It was his first NFL game. He's not sure what he's doing yet. So to have a great performance there, you need a bigger sample size. And they didn't. The bigger sample size was the Indianapolis Colts, Jonathan Taylor, Daniel Jones, the quarterback. They compiled 473 total yards. Guys were running free all day. They gave up scores on their first 3 possessions, 4 of their top 5. The Colts didn't punt at all. They do wind up scoring 29 points to win it. And Daniel Jones threw for over 300. Jonathan Taylor rushed for 165 and caught 2 passes for 50, where he was wide open on both of them. In the right flat, wide open for a 42-yard gain, wide open for or 43-yard gain, wide open for a 7-yard touchdown. So, boy, they got a lot of problems. I do think the Broncos are going to get Dre Greenlaw back to practice, but I don't think he'll probably play till the following week against Cincinnati. Who knows, maybe after that performance on Sunday, they rush Greenlaw back. I hope they don't. That quad's been a problem. Nate Atkins, the tight end, should be back for the Chargers game. Bro, that's a tough loss going into a rough stretch for the Broncos. They now go at the Chargers next Sunday, come home to play the Bengals, although Joe Burrow is probably out for the year, so the Broncos should win that one, and then at the Eagles. So a tough stretch, tough loss, but the Broncos have to bounce back. For Klis's Mike Drop, I'm Mike Klis. We'll talk to you again next week.